Good morning and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Diana Rich, joined in the studios with our producer, Nick Steffens.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Our publisher is Matt Bryant. And we're going to switch the show up a little bit this morning. We're going to have our guest first, and then we're going to jump into the weather, local events, police report, birthday game at the second half of the show. Before we get started, Nick, I'm going to throw you on the spot.
Yes.
You ready?
Sure. I'm kind of scared now.
So do you ever, as like a guy, do you ever have like one of those mornings where you don't know what to wear? Or is it just like, I'll wear a polo or a button-down shirt? Or do you ever have...
If you watch the show regularly, you know I rotate like 5 shirts. I open up my closet.
Do you like have like this chart that's like, I wore this, I have to wait 5 more days until I can wear it?
Pull up my phone and go back and look at previous episodes to make sure. Or like I won't do like, if I wore it last Thursday, I won't wear it like another Thursday just because I don't want to like repeat.
Okay.
Like, I'm making it like a daily thing.
Right.
But I do check. Usually I just open up my closet, see what shirts first, and I look if the corresponding pants are clean, and then I just go from there.
Well, you could be wearing swim trunks for all everybody knows. I mean, they just see the top half.
I do think about that, where I feel like I dress nicer than I have to for what I do for a job.
Well, way to go. Okay. Well, this morning I was like, what should I wear? What I haven't worn lately. I'm like, I wonder if Nick ever has to worry about this as a guy, or if it's just like, pull out another button up or
no, it's what's ever clean.
So.
I'm also 23, so I live alone, so I'm not really the most upkept person.
All right. Well, I was just thinking that this morning, so I'm like, I'm going to throw Nick on the spot and ask him that. So, all right. This morning we have, we're going to talk to Isabella Santoro about her recent award, the 2022 Chamber Citizen of the Year Award. Good morning, Isabella.
Good morning.
Good morning. So like I said, normally we talk to our guests later in the show, but wanted to talk to Isabella about her recent accomplishment, as well as an update on her and her husband's project, the Winga's Cafe. So I guess first, for people who maybe don't know you, I'm guessing most people do, but if they're not familiar with you or maybe they're watching from afar, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Isabella?
Yes. So I was born and raised in Italy. My mom is a Washingtonian, but she lived in Italy for almost 30 years, so that's why I hail from over there. But I did move here in high school and graduated from Washington High School in 2005. And then I went to the U of I, moved to the East Coast for pursuing my career in international relations, which is what I thought I wanted to do. Turns out it's not really what I wanted to do, so I moved back to Washington, my adopted hometown, and got into the family business, which is Cafe Dodici, and the Dodici shop and Dodici Night Suites. I kind of started off with managing the coffee shop, and then that's elevated from there to sort of overseeing kind of operations on all 3 businesses, and I love it. I kind of wish I'd gone to school for that, honestly,
yeah.
But there's nothing like experience, I've now had about 12 years of that. So that's, in a nutshell, my backstory. My husband and I bought Winga's Cafe on the square a few years ago and are about halfway through maybe a little bit more, our renovation project. So we're on schedule to have that mostly done by October in order to receive the Main Street grant that we were awarded. We may not be open then, so I know this is a question. And honestly, it doesn't even bother me. I love it because if I were to open a restaurant in New York City, Chicago, or even Iowa City, I don't know that anybody would care other than maybe my family or friends.
Yeah.
I get asked many times a day, so how's it going? When are you going to open? Yeah. And it's just so cool that so many people care.
Right.
But I would say a safe guess is even spring of next year, just to have all our ducks in a row. Staff hired, menu completed, doors open kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at time-wise for that.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, that's, very interesting kind of backstory. And I always tell people, live and learn. Like, you don't know what you don't know. So, live out experiences, learn what you do and don't like, and then go from there. So it sounds kind of like what you're doing.
Process of elimination sometimes is the way to figure that out.
Yes, that's always good too. So, So the Citizen of the Year Award recognizes an individual that has gone the extra mile to get involved in programs and activities that benefit Washington. You received this award last week, and it says, Isabella Santoro highlights these qualities by serving on several committees and boards, including the local library board steering committee, Let's Center for the Healing and Creative Arts, PEO, American Association of University Women, Hotel Motel Tax Administration Committee, and a founding member of the Farm to Film Festival. So congratulations again on your award. Was this something you were expecting or you were surprised?
I was surprised, yeah. I know sometimes I think maybe they should give people a heads up because, you know, we go on stage and we're like,
right,
oh
and
my
it's like all
gosh,
the bright lights and all the people.
Yeah, and I have terrible stage fright, which is this weird thing that happened the older I got, the more scared I got to be on stage. It's bizarre, but so I was a bit lost for words. I'd kind of practice a couple things to say, I'm like, you know, just in case. And then I got up there and it was just like, thank you. Because it really, and it was a shock because getting an award like this in a town like Washington is especially significant. There are so many people that volunteer, an incredible number of hours, and the effort that are put into events and volunteer organizations is just astounding. I mean, I still remember when didn't you co-lead the RAGBRAI? Yeah. I've never seen dedication like that, I think, before that or since then.
So thank you.
And I'm lucky enough to serve on the Farm to Film board with Lyle Moen and Nancy Rash, and those two talk about a power couple. I mean,
they are. And
they're incredible. Once they're dedicated to something, there's just nothing that stops them.
Yeah.
Very thorough, very organized. So it was really humbling to kind of be singled out when there's so many deserving people.
Yeah.
But I have had a great year. You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm still riding the high of winning that mural contest.
Yeah.
You know? I'm a big supporter of the arts. I think that's where it's at. That's what's going to increase tourism to our town, beautify the town. So many people already getting their pictures in front of it. We're already talking about, well, that could be our new sort of slogan for Washington. Meet me in Washington, you know. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. So you knew that you were like a finalist, and so it might be something that was going to happen that night, right?
Yeah, I did have an idea. So thankfully, I did think ahead and get my hair and makeup done. You know, when you're just
step up the game a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you're just a person in the audience. Nobody's going to remember what you wore, but if everyone's looking at you for a few minutes, they might notice what you're wearing. Speaking of picking out what to wear. And I did know that I was going to read the essay that was submitted that won the mural. So I was somewhat prepared to talk in front of everybody, but I was not prepared for an off-the-cuff sort of, you know, thank you. And really, there's just, how do you come up with the right words? It's hard.
So tell me a little bit about the night. So they announced that you were the award winner. I assume they went through I wasn't there that night, but I'm assuming they went through the candidates. They announced you as the award winner. Who was with you? What did the night mean to you?
Well, a funny story. We've always gone to all of the annual dinners, like my mom and I and some of our staff. And this was the one year that my mom couldn't come. So I don't know if you heard, she had pre-recorded like a congratulations video that was played at the very end. So that was really sweet. And she made sure a lot of people we got 2 tables full of people from our businesses, and including some of them were friends or good customers. So it was weird to not have her there, and obviously my dad lives in Italy, so he wasn't going to be there anyway. But it was still a really good showing of Dodici people. And even though, again, I was prepared to at least go up there, I think once it was announced that I won the award too, I had a flashback to my wedding day when I was so nervous to go in front of everybody that one of my bridesmaids, when I was at the altar, actually grabbed a chair and set it down behind me, like, just in case you need to take a seat. So I grabbed my husband and I'm like, you're coming with me.
So he looked like kind of your bodyguard up there. But he was ready for what were to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's my rock. Couldn't do any of this without him. He played a pretty big role in the mural too, with getting the wall ready, and so really he the award should have his name on it too, to be quite honest. So I was like, just come up there with me. I don't think it would be too weird.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, I did maybe go on stage a little too quickly, because then I realized I got up there, and then I got to stand there for like 5 minutes while Michelle read my accomplishments, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, it was lovely all around. I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. An awesome accomplishment, especially at such a young age. So congratulations again on that. And your involvement in the community is amazing. I mean, and like you said, the mural, what an awesome contribution to Washington, and so nice to see on the side of that building. And I think I was at the coffee shop one day, or eating at Cafe Dodici's outside one day, and I saw Ed over there just like prepping. Mm-hmm. And you don't even appreciate, like, I was like, oh my gosh, you don't even think of all the prep work that goes in before the artist can put that beautiful mural up. So kudos to him. I think it was a warm day when he was doing that. So.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, we won, now we're done. Right. It was actually a lot of work to get it ready. But yeah, it came out really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're so involved in the community. What are some things that you're currently working on or goals that you have this year or...
Well, besides the Wingas, which I failed to mention, we do plan on calling the Northside Diner once it's open. Because it was the Northside Cafe, actually, when the Wingas bought it, and then it became Wingas, like the Northside Cafe. A lot of old-timers still refer to it as the Northside Cafe. So to switch it up a little bit, we went with Northside Diner, but still an ode to the historical name. The other really big thing coming up is the Farm to Film Festival. So that is May 20th and 21st here in Washington. We will kick it off with at the State Theater with Mike Zaz showing some of his Brinton silent film clips and talking about those. And then there'll be independent movies shown at Dodichi's Coffee Shop in Patricia's Room, Art de Mystique, the library, and the City Council chambers. And that'll go on pretty much all day Saturday and a good chunk of Sunday. And I just think it's super cool. There are apparently 20-some film festivals in the state of Iowa. And until this year, none in the town that has the world's oldest continuously operating cinema theater. Mm-hmm. So that seemed like a travesty, and something needs to be done about that. Yeah. So I think it's really cool that we're doing that. Please mark your calendars. It is a totally free event to participate. You can come and watch the movies at no charge. We've been very fortunate with lots of support from advertisers and sponsors. And I'm really looking forward to it.
That's awesome. So where did this idea come from, or how did this take off?
It was Lyle Moen and Nancy Rash's dream.
Okay.
They've been researching it for years, attending various film festivals where they had spreadsheets on where they stayed, what it cost, what they did, like the good and bad takeaways from all the film festivals. Lots of conversations with film festival directors from other towns. I don't even want to know how many hours of research, honestly. Yeah. And so it was their baby, and they've been wanting to do it as kind of a Main Street event, which is how it started. But we are now our own 501c3, the Farm to Film Fest. Okay. And we're a mighty board of, I'm not going to count, I don't want to waste time, but just a handful of us that are making this happen. And I wanted to clarify, it's not specifically it's not just movies about farming or agriculture. Actually, funny story, I came up with the name because I thought it was kind of a clever pun, farm to table, farm to film, kind of, an ode to our farming industry. But it's not necessarily like, all movies about farming. It was really more of a clever name. Yeah. So that's where we got Farm to Film Fest from. We originally were temporarily calling it the Washington International Film Festival, and we thought, it needs a little more pizzazz than that.
Right. That's great. No, I love the name. That's awesome. And Lyle and Nancy Moen are great. I met them for the first time working as part of the RAGBRAI committee, and they're awesome. Super focused, community driven, great people. So I'm sure that they did their research. They always do. So that's awesome. Cool. Well, I look forward to learning more about that, and sounds like a great event to bring people to town and have them see our beautiful community. So any other things that you want to talk about in relation to Wingas or the award?
Just that, it's all a labor of love. Even my volunteering, it all ties together with my passions, which is putting Washington on the map. I guess I really, really love Washington. I think when I read the essay, hopefully that was very clear. And, I've had a lot of customers say, this is like the best kept secret or something. And I think, no, it's not I want to shout it from the rooftops, come and visit Washington. We have the beautiful trail and downtown, so many awesome gift shops, even more restaurants now. It's just a wonderful place to be. So, and the more I can volunteer to increase the tourism and spread the word about Washington, the more it benefits our businesses too. So it's not totally selfless. Right. And I can't stress it enough that you should meet me in Washington.
Well, I read your essay. I forget where I read it, but I read it maybe online or in the newspaper or something. It was beautifully written, and I agree. I mean, I traveled to a bunch of small communities with my kids' swim team and soccer and football and all these different things, and I always just come back and think, what a great place Washington is, and how nice our downtown is, full of businesses and lots of events like the Key Wash and Clue next weekend. I mean, there always does seem like there is something to do, and so that's awesome.
Considering our size, what we offer is just incredible. Even with the 5-day-a-week newspaper, with Washington Live and the podcast. Also, just a quick shout out to the Southeast Iowa Union for winning Business of the Year, totally deserved. I love listening to the podcast on my walks, and we're just lucky to have so much for such a small town.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no place like home. That was the title of my saying. It's true.
All right, one last question. If there's somebody listening who wants to get involved in the community, but they're scared or they don't, know where to look first to kind of find their niche, what advice would you give to them to get involved in Washington?
Good question. Off the top of my head, I think go to a city council meeting, see what they're talking about, and I think they had a big one yesterday. That would have been a good one to go to see, what's everybody focusing on. Otherwise, check out the Chamber of Commerce. They have a great resource on what all is going on in Washington, what the various groups are that you could join, or volunteering you could do. Volunteer for their Welcome Center. I bet you'd meet a lot of people that way.
Yeah.
And, I guess I would start there, or go walk into our coffee shops, talk to the locals, talk to the employees there. We're very friendly, and that's another thing I like about this town.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, sorry for putting you on the spot. I just thought, there's probably lots of people who think, I should get involved, but I'm not sure where I fit. So those were great recommendations. So thanks again for joining us today, and I think we'll head to commercial break, and when we get back, we'll talk about the weather and local events.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
What did 0 say to 8? Nice belt. Put a belt around a 0.
Oh, got it.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich. I was just joined in the studio by Isabella Santoro, who just won the 2022 Chambers Citizen of the Year Award. So had a nice talk with her about that great accomplishment, and then the work her and her husband are doing on Wingas here in town. So that was a fun start to the morning, and now we're on to our normal routine.
Yeah, now it's just us.
Yeah.
After the next break, it's only going to be one of us.
So people are probably going to drop off the viewing since it's just
probably.
us. But
And then after the next break, it's only going to be one of us.
That's
so
true.
stay tuned to figure out who it's going to be.
Moving on to weather, 30 degrees and cloudy. I was feeling optimistic on Monday. It seemed very nice, but I feel like it seems like it's winter again.
I'm not going to give my hopes up until June.
Yeah, I'd say May or June. That's probably pretty safe. For local events, I had pulled up on my phone. Let's see if I can get that pulled up again. We have a legislative briefing March 10th at the Houseian House. It's at 11:30. Has a complimentary lunch, and then at noon is a legislative briefing and public Q&A. Looks like there's also the Kiwanis AMers pulled pork dinner and silent auction at the Washington High School Commons on Friday from 4 to 7. I think they usually sell tickets in advance, but I'm sure they wouldn't turn you down if you showed up for that. And then it looks like the Sticks and Strings at the Washington Public Library at 6:30 on Friday night. So you can go in, cross stitch and sew and have a relaxing hour. And then, of course, we've talked a little bit about the play, A Clue, at the Washington Community Theater. It starts this Friday. I think the first showing is at 7:30, and then it's also on Saturday. So those are some local events that you can look forward to. Moving on to the police report. 12 traffic calls, 9 harassment calls, 6 sex offender checks, 5 animal complaints, 3 warrant arrests, 3 disorderly conduct, 2 welfare checks, 2 alarm calls, several more calls that had 2 calls for them, and then single calls for a total of 59 from the police report. I did not read the highlights ahead of time, so I might be surprised.
I honestly forget a lot of what I put in there an hour ago.
Okay, an hour ago, and you already forget.
Yep.
All right. Trespassing in Washington. Caller reports a company tearing up their yard without permission. 111 responded and spoke to all parties involved. Subjects had permission to be there.
I have a feeling it was the city doing like their job.
Right, right. Fraud call here in Washington. Caller reports someone used their daughter's social security number to file taxes. They are needing documentation to help get this resolved with the IRS. 106 was advised for documentation. Sounds kind of serious.
I have this fear that I'm going to like accidentally put my social security number down, like one number off, or like get numbers flipped around, and I'm going to like accidentally commit tax fraud by putting in someone else's name. Do you ever have that fear, or is it just me?
I don't ever have that fear, but it did take me a long time to memorize my social security number, and now I feel like I need to memorize my kids' social security numbers, and I feel like it's just a very big task.
Yeah.
Burglary call in Washington reports an upstairs window in his parents' residence has a screen pulled out and the window propped open. 107 and 111 responded. Appears it was caused by the wind. No problem.
It's always the wind. And an update on my house possibly being haunted or me losing my mind. Last night when I was going to bed, I had my bedroom door closed. There's like a hanging full body mirror hanging on it, so it can't close all the way. And it was as close as it could be. And then it like swung open halfway when I was at like 10 o'clock last night. And so either it was the heat kicking on or my house is haunted or I'm losing my mind.
That is, yeah. That's
an update on that.
I feel like you should be keeping a journal
I should.
about these activities, or you can just talk about them on Washington Live. And
This is my video journal.
This is your journal. All right. Traffic call in Washington. Caller reports a white Dodge Ram hit a child on the roadway and drove off. The child is not moving. 103, 106, and Washington Fire all responded and disregarded the other vehicles that were coming, I guess. Units were unable to locate the accident. False 911 report.
I feel like I'm all for a prank call. Funny, hee ha ha. I don't feel like that was like a good prank call.
No, I know. I was like, my heart dropped, but I don't think if something bad happened, Nick would have put this in here. So I'll continue to read. But all right.
Which I read that and I felt ill, and I was like, I feel like we would have covered that if something bad happened. And no, someone's just being, I don't know, trying to get the driver and I don't know.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have pranked a 911 call over that, or probably anything. So, all right. Well, that is all we have for the police report. We will head to commercial break, and when we get back, we'll play our birthday game.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Welcome back to Washington Live. I'm your host, Diana Rich. We had a fun morning already talking to Isabella Santoro about her Citizen of the Year award. And now we're back for the National Day, March 8th. It's National Proofreading Day.
Yeah, I made a stupid joke about spelling it wrong on the piece of paper.
And Nick wrote National Proofreading Day, but spelled reading incorrectly, so I could catch it. So.
It is also International Women's Day.
It is, yes.
So
yes,
and
I was hoping it'd be like National Sweatsuit Day, so I could wear a sweatsuit today. But apparently we missed that.
Missed both sweatshirt and sweatpant day. But I don't know if there's a combination. I didn't find one of those. So maybe we can start it. We can start our own day.
I feel like we should just start making our own days, and then we can be like National Flannel Day or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I have a couple birthday shout outs. No birthdays today for anybody local, but yesterday was Angie Schluter's birthday. Happy birthday, Angie. Carrie Murphy and Audra Williams. Happy birthday, Angie, Carrie, and Audra. A day late. A day late is better than never at all.
Well, I was a week late on my brother-in-law. It does not appear that I have any
You know, what I always say is, well, everybody wished you happy birthday yesterday, so I thought it would be special if I waited a day, right?
Yeah. For some reason, my friends can never remember my birthday. It's July 20th, but they always get it mixed up with like the 21st or the 22nd. Or so I just kind of get random birthday messages over like a 3-day period because in high school, I had friends with that with the 22nd.
Yeah.
We just kind of lumped our birthdays together for as far as like celebration goes. And so people never like really knew when our birthdays were. They just kind of knew it was in that early 20 range.
Just some kind of July birthday.
Yeah.
Well, mine's July 28th, so maybe we should declare July some kind of
We'll make that would
really
actually. I was gonna say
exciting
we'll make that National Sweatsuit Day, but I feel like that'd be miserable in July.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up with something better.
All right, are you ready for the birthday game?
Ready or not, let's do it.
First up is Lily from AT&T. Those commercials. Her real name is Milana Vaintrub.
All right.
So I'm gonna.
I feel like Lily's trying to be like Flo.
Yeah, because we did Flo the other day, so I feel like we had to include Lily now. How old do you think she is?
Let's go 29.
I'm going to go 32. How old is Lily from AT&T? She is 35.
35, so you got a point.
Let's double check that. She's 36.
All right.
So I did not get a
no
point.
points.
The website did not update it. Next up, we have Freddie Prinze Jr. It's getting kind of gray.
This is great.
So is it my turn to?
These last two are actors from my day. Nick, feeling pretty good about this.
They're kind of from my day. The live action Scooby Doo movies. That's how he was to me, which is kind of sad that that's his legacy.
I think he was in a couple movies that were popular when I was younger.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Let me do some quick math in my head. I was maybe this much. Oh, let's go 45.
Oh, I was gonna go. I was thinking 55.
Oh, well, go for it.
Okay, I feel like that's wrong. How old is Freddie Prinze Jr.? He's 47. You get a point.
So I was just thinking, like, when I was in junior high, I remember him being in some shows. But
Next up is James Vanderbeek, from your favorite crappy teenage show from the 2000s.
Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek.
I know. My friends and I used to have a show. It was called the Dawson's Creek Party, and we get together at someone's house, and their mom would make us food, and we would watch it.
I can't really say much as a One Tree Hill fan, but watching Dawson's Creek, I'm like, how is this such a cultural impact thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, no offense, but it just wasn't.
Well, things were a little bit different back in the day, Nick.
I guess. How old's James?
Let's see here. I feel like he's got to be almost the same age as Freddie Prinze Jr. I'm going to go 47.
I feel like that. I'm going to go 45. I feel like he has to be the same age as 46. So we each
get a point.
We each get a point, but you beat me 2-1.
All right. Good game. I was excited because I knew 2 out of those 3 people.
It's been a while since I feel like it's been kind of a dry spell for the past 2 months as far as celebrities being born. It's kind of the more obscure ones.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else we need to cover today, Nick?
I think we're good.
All right. Very good. Thanks for joining us on Washington Live. As always, please make sure to like, comment, or share. We appreciate you watching and hope you have a great day.